RuneScape's high scores were originally released in November of 2001, and over the years we've seen new features that allow us to see the standings for clue scrolls, achievements, minigames, and even Zamorak and Rage. However, we've yet to see high scores for boss kills on RuneScape 3. It seems that Jagex has never given a clear reason as to why they haven't added it, but some players suspect it's because boss high scores will reveal how many bots there really are in the game. Regardless of the reason, players have been asking for this feature to be added for years. In this video, I went on a mission to find players with the highest kill count for every boss. Sadly, it's impossible to confirm the true boss leaders without confirmation from a Jagex moderator. So in order to conduct my search, I had to use a few different resources to create a list of 13 boss kill leaders. First of all, I used an old Reddit post from xjmodshani, who shared the top killers per boss as of 2018. With this data, I couldn't see the names of the players, however it did give me an idea of what the absolute minimum number a boss kill count leader could have. The next resource I used was the old Rune app's boss high scores, which were an unofficial user-led high scores that I don't believe have been updated in a few years. The numbers from this website are more recent, but they aren't from an official source. The third resource I used was the drop high scores from Rune Pixels. This website let me see the players with the most drops for a specific boss, but the data has only been tracked for a couple years. Lastly, and arguably one of the most reliable strategies I used to search, was asking in the respective discords and communities for each boss. The problem with this search was that there's no communities for low-level bosses such as God Wars Dungeon 1 or King Black Dragon. With all the information I gathered, I individually messaged multiple players to ask them about their kill count and their collection log. While a few players were certain they were rank 1, most players were unsure of their standings. As I go through this list, I'm going to start with a few players who are either confirmed or highly likely to be the leaders for their respective boss. I'll then go through some players who are possibly leaders, but I was unable to get convincing evidence. Starting off is a player named Wake, who is a leader for Vindicta at around 1 million kills. Vindicta was released back in 2016 with God Wars Dungeon 2, and its notable drops include the Dragon Rider Lance and the Crest of Zeros. While killing Vindicta, Wake has obtained about 3,000 lances and crests. A very rough estimate of how much this would be worth is around 100 billion GP with current Grand Exchange prices. Wake told me that he doesn't AFK for his kills, and he even streams his kills over on Twitch. The second boss I'm going to talk about is the next Angel of Death, or AOD. AOD was released in 2017, and to this day is still a very popular boss. The most common ways to kill this boss are in 4-man teams, 7-man teams, or masses. I found 2 players with impressively high KC for this boss. First, I found a player named OnFlower in the AOD Discord. OnFlower has over 90,000 next AOD kills. From this screenshot I found in 2022, he has 42 wands, 22 cores, and over 250 Prazel codices. The AOD drops have fluctuated in price a lot over the years, but this is likely to be an absolute minimum of 200 billion GP in drops. When I spoke to OnFlower, he told me that another player has more kills than him, and that player is Spotleewolf. Spotleewolf is a player who hosts masses in the next AOD Mass Friends chat. She is believed to be the player with the most AOD kills at 108,000 kills. When I spoke to her, she told me that she thinks another player actually has more than her, but many sources say that she has the most. Spotleewolf was not willing to share her collection log, but she did say that she has the most AOD lore books in the game, which she picks up after every kill. The next boss I'm going to talk about is Giant Mole, specifically Hard Mode Giant Mole. The Giant Mole was added to the game all the way back in 2006, and its only desired drop is the pet. The player with the most Giant Mole kills is named the WaterBoy, and he hosts mass kills in the Boss Guild Discord and Friends chat to help other players achieve the pet. The WaterBoy has over 14,000 hard mode mole kills, and this was recently confirmed to be the most by Mod Ryan. So far, the WaterBoy has received 36 mole pets, which he's been destroying on his way to his goal of 60,000 kills. The next boss is Calite Queen, which is another old boss. The leaders for Calite Queen belong to two players named Forever Epic and Avril X, who both have 7,370 kills. This number of kills is the same amount as the 2018 data report from Mod Shawnee, so it's possible that there are players with more kills now. However, the Calite Queen is another boss that people usually only kill for the pet, so it's unlikely that there are many players with a higher kill count. Either way, I wanted to include Forever Epic and Avril X because of a funny story behind their kill count. They both duoed for all of their kills, and learned that you can't get the pet when one player does each phase of the boss fight. Once they finally realized this 7,000 kills later, they soloed the boss and got the pet within 30 minutes of each other. Burrow's Rise of the Six was released back in 2013, and since it was released, players have found out how to kill the boss in seconds, making it a consistent moneymaker with a minimum of 1,000,000 GP per kill. After searching the Rune Pixels drop high scores for rots, I found a player named Lumberjack. I messaged Lumberjack and found out that he has the second most rots kills at 150,000, and he told me that a player named 6S is in first place with over 200,000 kills, and third place has less than 100,000. Lumberjack was willing to share a picture of his kill count and his maxed out collection log, and I eventually was able to get in contact with 6S to confirm his kill count. The RuneScape wiki puts the average rots chest at 2,000,000 GP, so 150,000 kills is about 300 billion in GP. Meanwhile, 200,000 kills would be worth about 400 billion. Next up, I'm going to talk about normal mode WaterBoy. For this boss, I'm not as confident in saying the following players are the true kill count leaders. And this is because of how easy this boss is to AFK and potentially bot. One player that has a massive amount of WaterBoy kills is the content creator IronAraxxor. He has 106,000 kills and recently made a video on 2,000 Triss keys that he gathered from this boss. He's also gathered over 1,200 effigies from AFKing this boss. While 106,000 is a lot of kills, the suspected leader of WaterBoy kills is believed to be Dragonseance, who has 180,000 kills. I found this cool because Dragonseance is a RuneScape legend known for being rank 2 in Summoning and Slayer, and he's also the owner of the rank 1 RuneScape clan Efficiency Experts. Dragonseance AFKs 0 mechanic WaterBoy for clues, marks of war, and chaos dice. At 3.33 elite clues per hour and using the Bic book, he has achieved the craziest clue stack I've ever seen, and this would take years to even solve. He has since moved on from WaterBoy and is now working on archaeology for tetracompasses. The next boss in this list is Carac, and I'm bringing back the player named Bazz from the last video. The Carac leader had 120,000 kills back in 2018, so it's possible that Bazz is not the true rank 1. However, Bazz has over 282,000 kills on his Bazz 2 account, and across all accounts he has over 1.2 million Carac kills. Bazz says that he kills Cree as a part of the greater strategy for his accounts, and he's at 2.4 thousand effigies opened, which could possibly put him in the running for the most effigies opened by one player. The 8th boss I'm going to talk about on this list is Razel. I was told that a player named ewife may have the most Razel kills, but I was unable to confirm this. ewife has 62,000 Razel kills, and they have been killing Razel consistently for the last 6 months, and will continue to do so as long as the boss remains good GP per hour. According to ewife's log, they've made an estimated 180 billion GP minimum in the last 6 months from this boss. During my search, I was told that this boss is heavily botted, so it's possible that there are bots hiding under the radar with more kills than this. The next boss is hard mode Carac. There are 2 players that have very similar kill count and are believed to be the 2 leaders of this boss. These players are Glotzfrosch and Mike, who both have around 24,000 kills. At the time of making this video, Glotzfrosch is technically in the lead, but Mike believes he'll pass them soon. Comparing their logs, Mike has obtained 28 FSOAs while Glotz has 36. FSOAs are currently only worth 1.7 billion, but they used to be much more, and it's probably safe to assume they've made over 100 bill from this boss, including other drops. Next up is a player named Madness, who is believed to be rank 1 Calite King. Madness has just over 60,000 Calite King kills, which he achieved through a combination of solos and group kills. Madness is considering going for another 60,000 kills through solos, which has become easier since the release of Necromancy. This is a picture of Madness's log, which includes over 200 Drycore weapons. The Dagannoth Kings were a difficult search because this boss has been in the game since 2005, and in 2018 there was already a player with 60,000 kills. While their ring drops hold decent value, the Dagannoth Kings just aren't an ideal boss to farm in 2024. However, the RunePixels High Scores has a player named Bwizzle as rank 1. After messaging him, I learned that he has around 140,000 Dagannoth King kills, but he then pulled up his alt account which has 160,000 kills. I thought this was crazy enough, but then he told me that he has around 1 million kills across all of his alt accounts. I didn't get a picture of his logs, but he did say that he has the max of 250 rings on his logs. Next, I'm going to talk about Zamorak. Zamorak was another difficult search because of the enrage system. Hypothetically, there could be players who farm 0% enrage for thousands of kills, but there are also players at the top of the enrage leaderboards with less kills. After asking around in the Zamorak Discord, I found a player named A Random Guy who has 13,000 Zamorak kills, which were mostly done at 500% enrage. A Random Guy doesn't have a specific goal for Zamorak kills, but he'll continue killing it as long as it's good GP. So far, he's received 26 bows, and it's safe to say that he's made well over 100 billion GP from this boss. The last boss I'm going to include in this list is personally one of my favorites, which is Verago. Verago was added into the game in 2013 and has remained fairly relevant since then. Verago is known to be a notoriously long boss fight, where average teams can get around 7 to 8 minute kills in normal mode and 10-minute kills in hard mode. Back in 2018, the Verago leader had 14,000 kills, while second place only had 8,000. And a couple years later, the leader had reached 21,000 kills. This leader is confirmed to be a player named Flex My Fury. However, after asking around, it was reported that he doesn't play as much anymore, so his most recent kill count is unknown. I was, however, able to get in touch with second place, who is a player named 84711. 84711 has 9.5 thousand total Verago kills, but he estimates his true KC is above 21,000. He has over 38,000 tectonic energy, 43 wands, and 64 singularities. And with Verago being a boss where teams split loot, this is easily worth over 100 billion GP. This is also over 100 days spent at Verago going off the average kill times. Before finishing the list for this video, I want to end on a cliffhanger and mention the hard mode Verago leader, who is a player named Vggrcm. While he's known to be the leader, his exact kill count is unknown and I'm still trying to get in touch with him. So those were 13 bosses and their respective leaders for kill count. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, it's impossible to confirm the true leaders without confirmation from Jagex. I want to make episode 2 for this, so if anyone knows a player that could possibly be the leader for a certain boss, please leave a comment down below or message me on Discord at SucceedRS. Also, if anyone knows a player with more kills than someone I listed in this video, leave a comment and I'll make an update in the next video.